Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast. So, Halloween is over. And over here in the UK, we're looking forward to Bonfire Night, or Guy Fawkes Day, where we celebrate a guy called Guy Fawkes who just nearly blew up Parliament, but didn't quite do it. Insert irony here. But that also means Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas holiday season, whatever floats your boat is just around the corner. And that's time to give gifts, or maybe even treat yourself to a few must-have tech gadgets. But the big questions I want to explore today is, how is technology changing how we give gifts and the gift-giving culture? Why unwanted gifts are actually problematic in terms of unnecessary spending, environmental costs and stress. And everyone that's had to return to a store with a load of gifts behind 50 people in a physical store the day after the holiday season will know all about the stress involved there. And also why crowd-gifting apps could offer the perfect solution to such problems. So today's guest is going to talk about what it's like to launch a tech startup, build an app with your immediate family, because the business has an interesting backstory because it was founded by 4 members of the same family, including his mum, dad and 2 sons, with the younger 2 that are really driving the business forward. He is the co-founder of WhatWeWant. But hey, no spoilers. I think I've revealed far too much as it is and done more than enough scene setting. So let's get him on the show now. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Of course. Yes, I'm Yiannis A Fafalios, the co-founder of WhatWeWant, which is a new crowd gifting app where we're looking to basically make the whole gift giving process a lot easier. And it's something that has come out of my brother's experience. He was the person behind this whole thing, so I'm actually the second member of the team. My brother was at a party where he was talking to some friends of his, and one of his friends said, what are you getting me for Christmas? And I can't say my brother's the most sort of frugal person on the planet. He's one year he looked around the house and then just packaged things around the house and then gave it to us as a Christmas present. So, I think not much has really changed in the last sort of 10 years. And the classic scenario when someone poses the question of, what are you getting me for Christmas? Or someone's birthday's coming along, and just thinking, what do they need? Do they need something? Will they like it? Will they use it? And then the classic kind of, well, they have everything anyway, so what do I get them? And it's these things that it's surprising that we haven't found a way to be more efficient with the way that we give gifts, and this is kind of where the idea sort of came from.
Excellent. And I love how technology is transforming almost every aspect of our lives. But this is a tech show, and as the holiday season approaches, I'm also looking forward to exploring how tech is actually changing the art of gift giving, especially on that run up to the holiday season. But before we do, you hinted at that family story there, so I've got to go there and explore that a little bit more. So can you share that interesting backstory of where the idea came from, how it was founded by 4 members of your family there, including your mum, dad, and the 2 brothers, with the younger 2 really driving the business forward? Because it sounds like there's a great story there.
Well, yeah. So, he came up with that idea and he sort of let it ferment in his head for a while. And I remember the day where he sort of walked into the room that we sort of sit together and talk about things, and he just goes, I've got an idea. And he's always coming up with ideas. He's always someone that he's got that knack. He's always, it's a problem, I want to solve it. And I'm the buffer. I'm always the first sort of port of call. And he goes, I've got this idea. And 9 times out of 10, it's, no, that's a terrible idea. It's been done. I'll be head of Amazon. They've done that, and in this case, I was like, hang on a minute, he's actually onto something here. This is a problem. I've been involved in a few startups prior and at very early stages. So you kind of go through the stages of, what's the problem? What's the solution? Why is there no solution? And I thought, actually, this is actually a very solid idea with it's not just one dimensional. It's not one problem that's being solved. You can solve quite a few problems. So quite naturally, we approach our pet. Well, for us, it's quite naturally we approach our parents because, with a family team, you've got yourself a very diverse team. We've got my father, who's not very technologically advanced. So when it came to building the app, keeping it very simple for someone like him to be able to use. With my mother, she came up with some, very good sort of demographics that we need to target because, we're meeting developers and they're telling us, who's your target demographic? And, well, my brother and I were kind of saying, well, everyone's a target demographic. Everyone gives gifts, don't they? But, we were, at the time, we hadn't realized, well, actually, we do need to focus on a certain group. And my mother said, well, I tend to be the person that plans the gifts and gives gifts to, especially when you're at school, to your classmates. Some of these people I don't even know who they are. It's just, your friends invited to your birthday party. I've got to give them a gift. So she said, they are the main gift givers in the family. So, that's really a target market. So we've got to make it friendly for them to use as well, and easy for them to be able to use it on behalf of their kids, because at the end of the day, they're looking for that connection between, I'm looking for a present for my kid. I know what they want, upload it, and then, all the other people, mothers and that, can see it and say, okay, I will contribute to said gift, which takes the guesswork away from, all the other people saying, oh, what does, little Timmy want? I don't even know him. I'll get him a standard T-shirt from wherever and hope he's happy with it.
So looking at those problems that he encountered there, at what point did you turn to technology to create a solution that would make that process simpler and inherently less stressful? At what point did that start to take shape?
I think in general, looking at the status quo that we're at the moment, technology seems to have the answers to a lot of these issues, and we've tried to make the app sort of very familiar to users. You have to upload a photo of the gift. So, you're taking that kind of Instagram kind of, you provide a photo, you add a bit of information. You've got obviously your birthday details, and people like Facebook have started to do that fundraising for your birthday. So there are variations of this around, but just not for the personal gift. So we thought, if we can translate, what others are doing, but bring it slightly closer to home, then, we should be able to do it in an app format, where we use social media, which people are very comfortable with. Everyone seems to be doing things on their phones at the moment. We want people to be able to do things on the go. So if you were in a shop and you see a nice dress or you see a TV that you want to buy, you could take the snap on your phone and you can upload the gift instantaneously, which is what we want at the moment. Currently, everything, we want things to be done instantaneously, and this is what our app allows you to do.
So if we dive a little bit more into that problem itself, why is it you think unwanted gifts are so problematic for families all over the world? Because I think we've all been there, haven't we?
Oh, no, definitely. And it's gift giving is a two-way street here. It falls upon the gift giver to find the right gift, and then the receiver, when they receive the gift, they like it, they don't like it. What do they then do with it? And that relationship. There's a very good article recently, I think, in the New York Times, which said that the people you're giving gifts to, you have a strong relationship with them. You're not getting someone, you're not getting a random person a gift. You're normally getting someone that's close to you. So when you get it so wrong, the receiver, they're not going to say, I'm not saying they feel disappointed, but they're going to say, how has someone who's so close to me got it so wrong? And then they've got to go through the whole process of, either returning it or putting it on eBay or just kind of leaving it at home and only putting it on when that person comes to be like, yeah, I love that jacket you got me. Look at, I'm wearing it today. And same for the gift giver. They've got to go through, copious amount of online stores, brick and mortar stores. With the internet and the way that technology is, it hasn't actually made life that much easier. We've got such a myriad of products to be able to buy people. It can be an experiential gift, it can be a physical product. It's almost too much, and this kind of adds a pressure on getting the right gift, and then when you receive the gift, then what do you do with it?
So here we are in 2019. We're approaching holiday season. How is tech going to change our gift giving culture and tackle all these problems that we've highlighted today?
So what we're trying to do here at What We Want is taking the guesswork out of gift giving. When you upload the gift, this is what I want, or in some cases, it could be buying a gift on behalf of someone. You know that someone wants a gift. You can create a private gift and send it only to certain members of family or friends. And all of a sudden, that person who has maybe a slightly more personal connection says, I know what they want, or you yourself have uploaded a gift, can now say, this is what I want. It's a bit of a faux pas currently that, we can't ask for things. Well, why is that the case? If so many people are receiving unwanted gifts and so many people are unsatisfied with what they're getting, then why should we continue with this sort of inefficient way of this tradition?
And for anyone listening to us now that are Googling What We Want and trying to find your website and find out more about what you're doing, can you walk them through exactly what they'll find and how they can get started, get up and running, and get the most out of What We Want this holiday season to make sure that they're not returning a load of unwanted gifts or re-gifting them?
Yeah, of course. So if you go to our website, which is whatwewant.co.uk, it will take you to whatever platform you're on. So it's on the App Store and it'll be on Google Play. We're looking to release sometime in the next couple of weeks. And then the sign-up process is relatively simple, like you would at most social media websites or apps. The one thing that we do have is, because people are contributing money, we do need some form of identification to comply with certain regulations. And this for me is quite a familiar thing to do. It's not something that is that peculiar these days. And at the end of the day, this is for the security of the user. Once you do that, you're straight into the app. It's about 4 or 5 clicks and you've uploaded your gifts. You have I've actually got a demo of the app in front of me. You've got a My Gifts page where you just press the plus icon, and from there you just fill in all the information. Important information is obviously the value of the gift, and we want to encourage people to remember that, yes, a TV may cost £300, but don't forget about some of the ancillary costs like the post and packaging. If you want to put it on your wall, you want a wall mount as well. So a lot of people are put off by, I'm buying a gift, but post and packaging costs X amount, or, I bought this gift and then batteries aren't included. So, with this app, we're more than happy for you to add a bit on to pay for these extra bits that sometimes we don't think about. You then put a target date and then that's it. You're off really. And then you just invite your friends and they'll contribute towards your gift.
Excellent. And before you came on today, I did a little bit of research about you guys, and I read that you recently surveyed over 2,000 UK consumers to uncover how many Brits actually receive unwanted gifts each year. Can you share some of the results from that survey?
Yeah, well, we all had our assumptions prior to this, and it was great that we got to conduct this survey. And we found that, over half of adults have actually received unwanted gifts, which is an unbelievable statistic that, it's about, we're 60 million people here around, so 30 million people have received an unwanted gift. The next question, if you drill down further, is, well, what do they do with that unwanted gift? And it surprises that 25% of people will exchange that gift or return it, and then 1 in 5 will just throw it straight in the bin. So it's startling that, I've put the effort into buying you a gift, and then some people just say, well, thanks, wait for you to leave, and then in the bin it goes. And with the app that we have, we're hoping that there are some nice sort of side effects that happen as a result. Waste is obviously a big issue at the moment, so if we can prevent the 1 in 5 people just throwing a gift away, then we are helping out with another issue that is pertinent at the moment, which is waste. And then the other thing that is important to remember is that the gift giving is a two-way street, and just under half of people find the gift giving experience actually rather stressful because they ask those questions that we touched on earlier, and especially the last one, which is, well, they have everything. It puts you in a bit of a lazy situation, which is, do I just give them a bit of money? Do I give them a gift card? And one of the startling facts that kind of got our project up and running was that £1 billion in gift cards are wasted each year.
Wow.
And this is kind of the lazy way out into giving gifts. I don't know what you want, but here you go, take this gift card. And some of them have expiry dates. It may not be for the place that you actually shop, and people just leave them on the side and they don't really use them. So that's wasted money. Whilst if that money were to go towards something you actually want, then at least it's not wasted money.
So I'm going to throw a curveball at you here then. So do you and your brother use this? And if you do, what's top of both your lists?
Yeah, so when it goes live, we'll definitely be using this. That's the most important thing about this is that when we did go through that initial process, we said, would we use this? And it was a resounding yes from definitely the four of us here. For me, I think for the premise of the app, it's to be able to, you're looking for something for Christmas. It tends to be something that you wouldn't expect to get from one individual person. So it may be something that's of a higher monetary value. So I don't expect my parents to buy me let's say, for example, a TV. It's it's £300-400, but they would give me X amount towards that.
Yeah.
In my case, I think I'd be looking at. I've been looking for quite a while at a Mont Blanc pen. I really would. That's something that I would really like to get, but they are very expensive, and I don't expect one family member to pay for that. But if they all chip in, then I would get that. Now my brother, I'm not too sure actually. I've fallen into the classic question that we ask ourselves, which is I think he's got everything that he needs. So he doesn't need to upload anything, but I guarantee there is something on his mind that he wants to get.
So when are you going live so your brother can upload what he wants to make sure he doesn't end up disappointed and gets nothing?
Yeah, exactly. We're hoping next week to submit it to the app stores, and then unfortunately it's in the lap of the gods really. It's how long did they take to approve it. So we're hoping the week commencing the 11th we're going live.
Fantastic. And ultimately then, what is your grand vision for What We Want?
Well, I think for the time being, we're just looking to see what our customers have to say, really, see what people are looking for, because what we've done here is our interpretation of what a problem is and how to solve it. And there'll be a lot of people out there who will have certain variations. We want to make the whole gift giving process a bit more efficient, and there are definitely a lot of ways to do it with the app. And initially, when we came up with the idea, millions and millions of ideas were flying through our minds. Oh, we could do this, we can add this add-on, but we wanted to keep it very simple. We wanted to make it easy for everyone to use. So, really, the grand vision is to reduce unwanted gifts. Is to speak to people who use the app and see how they believe we may be able to make the whole process that bit easier. We've played with ideas like adding a wish list. So, you're not sure about whether to buy something, you can upload a photo of it and people can comment and say, oh, yes, that's great. Or, I've actually used that before, it's not so good. So we're hoping that, instead of people going online and let's say like myself, going through the Mont Blanc website continuously and looking at new pens and ogling over it, and I can actually upload it and sort of say, okay, here it is. What do people think? Is there a better version of the pen, or is there something else, or is there another brand? Or so there are many sort of avenues that we can explore, but we'd like to hear what everyone else has to say first before we implement something.
Excellent. And before I let you go, what's the best way of people finding What We Want and downloading it? It's not on the app stores yet, but you can just remind them of your website details and how they can contact your team if they do have any other questions.
Yeah, so our website is whatwewant.co.uk, and any emails should go to whatwewant@whatwewant.co.uk. Nice and easy. It's all the same. We're all very, very open people. We like conversations. With all the teams that we're currently involved with from the development side. We like to have face-to-face conversations, and we do like getting on the phone, and we do like keeping correspondence up. So we're more than happy for people to email into us. we will be we have a social media presence, so we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So please follow us on that, and we'll keep you updated on when we go live. And sort of tips and hints of how to get away from the unwanted gifts and finding that perfect thing.
Excellent. Well, I'll add all those links to the blog post that will accompany this podcast episode. So I wish you the best of luck over the holiday season. I'll download it as soon as it comes out and give it a try as well. But and we'll hopefully speak with you again in the new year and see how things went.
Oh, no, definitely. No, that'll be great.
Thanks so much for coming on and sharing that story with me today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I love how, having realised the difficulties faced when it comes to gift giving, that today's guest was keen to offer a tech solution that would make the process simpler and inherently less stressful. And indeed, WhatWeWant recently surveyed over 2,000 UK consumers to uncover how many Brits receive unwanted gifts and what they do with them. There's some fascinating stats in there, wasn't there? I mean, 53% of UK consumers have received an unwanted gift over the past 12 months, which isn't too surprising. But as a result of that, 43% of recipients have admitted to regifting their unwanted presents. Reminds me of an old Seinfeld episode. Is anybody out there responsible for regifting their unwanted presents? And a shocking 20% revealed that they've thrown away ill-fated presents without using them. Just a few of examples of why he created the WhatWeWant app and how it lets them share the cost of gifts with family and friends, but it also allows users to create a gift for an upcoming event for themselves or for someone else. But I think it was the startup story behind it all that really brought it to life. So over to you. Do you think that was a great story, great idea? And will you, as a user, check it out? Any tech solution is only ever as good as the adoption that it secures. So that is where you come in. I want you to share your insights, your thoughts, and even your must-have tech gifts or any gifts this year. Or just send me an email with a quick question, whatever takes your fancy. All you need to do is email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, tweet me at Neil C. Hughes, pop by my website, techblogwriter@outlook.com. And if you're thinking of starting 2020 with New Year, New Me, and you want to launch your own podcast, give me a shout on that as well. I'll see what I can do to help you out. But that's it for me. A big thank you for listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.